there's so many cool like ancient pathways in the Scottish borders, and I wanted to put them together to like a coherent route, and that's when the idea of the Capital Trail was born. So I researched it over the winter of 2014, 2015, mainly in January and March, and then had it together by the end of March I think, and that was my first bikepacking route I designed.
Where does the Capital Trail go? Where does it start? What are the key features along the route?
So the start and finish is on Portobello Beach in Edinburgh, and that was subsequently then the start of my round the world trip as well.
I'm at Portobello Beach, about to start the Capital Trail. It's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, nice sunrise, looking forward to some nice trails.
And then it goes first, it travels east towards East Lothian over the Lammermuir Hills, which I think is like one of those stretches of hills that a lot of people just don't even know about that they exist. Always looms in the background. And so over the Lammermuir Hills and then into the Scottish borders, down towards Melrose, and then up to Tweed-Brethren and over some key hills in the Scottish borders, and then it goes back over kind of more hills and then into the Pentland Hills and back into Edinburgh. And the approach to Edinburgh has changed quite significantly over the years because there's new stuff being built all the time in the city, so that has changed. But it's like, for me, I think it was so the thing that drove the idea of it is you've got Edinburgh and then you've got Treatbank railway station, and it's a really nice way to split it up into two halves. So if you don't want to ride the whole thing in one go, you can split it up, take the train back to Edinburgh, and then do the second half by just taking the train down there. And I know, it's a nice loop around Edinburgh, taking you south of Edinburgh into the Scottish borders.
And what bike would you recommend to do this ride on? Is it different in summer to winter?
Definitely, yeah. I think, so for me, it's always been a mountain bike route. Hardtail mountain bike is probably the best bike, I think. But I think as a lot of things in the bike industry that has changed over the years. I think with a gravel bike with slightly wider tires, you'll be fine in the summer. I think probably in the winter I would still say it's a mountain bike route. It's good. So I think the thing for me that makes it a mountain bike route, there's some pretty steep climbs in there, and there's also some amazing descents, and I think especially the descents you're much better off on a flat bar bike, but you can do them on a gravel bike. I think it pretty much depends on your definition of fun and how you approach bikepacking. It's both for both types of bikes, but I do think a mountain bike is the more fun bike.
And how much hiker bike you want to do?
Yes.
I'm at the top of the Lammermuir Hills, and it's taken me a long time to get here. I think I've done about 55k. The sun's about to set. It's only like 3 o'clock. Gonna descend down into Melrose and either get a hotel there or in Selkirk. I think wet shoes would have been a bad idea, so shoes off and cross the river. It's day 2 on the Capital Trail. The wood's pretty slippy. Oh my god. It took me 13 hours to do 100k yesterday. Got into Selkirk. Probably because I was trying to keep my feet dry. Taking my shoes off, lobbing them over the rivers and wading across. It's pretty cold this morning, a lot of water on the ground, it's pretty saturated.
Doing the Capital Trail 10 years ago and then now doing a book. And I guess the new books are very, very different focus, much less extreme than the Capital Trail, shorter journeys, so it's literally just kind of like having something on the pathway that then people can jump on doing the bigger routes in Bikepacking Scotland. And yeah, some books, I think I've really enjoyed writing books. The one which is currently out is Gravel White's Loch Lomond and the Trossachs. That was my latest project. This is covering Scotland's first national park, but also some really nice routes in Argyll. Argyll was the place where I landed back from having cycled the lap of the world on a single speed bike, so always be a special place. And then that's the follow-up to Gravel White's Cairngorms in Perthshire. Perthshire is actually where Bikepacking Scotland's based now. I've got a house in Ailoffe, which is kind of like my base when I develop routes up there. And so both of those two books are shorter routes. Gravel White's Loch Lomond and the Trossachs actually has a bikepacking route in it as well. And then I think the book which is like still at the very heart of what I'm doing is Bikepacking Scotland. That's been a book I've researched over the course of the last 10 years. It came out in 2023 and that's kind of the bulk of the work I've been doing up until now. The gravel books are, as I said, like they're more for people who want to go on shorter day trips. They're also really, really cool for people who come just for a short visit and just want to ride their bikes. And Bikepacking Scotland's got a different focus. Bikepacking Scotland's like longer routes in Scotland, and they're not necessarily routes where, like, I didn't want to include the routes which are freely available out there already. Something like the Cairngorms Loop, I think there's a good website for that. The Badger Divide as well. The Highland Trail 550, there's various versions of it, but Alan also alters the route every year, so it's like it's I think it's a bit of a special route. the Bikepacking Scotland book's about routes, all the ones I've developed, and they probably take you into parts of Scotland, like the Capital Trail, where you wouldn't normally go if you come on a standard tourist trip.